Welcome to Obstacle Running Adventures,
the podcast that fuels your passion for obstacle course racing,
running, and all things adventurous.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or a weekend warrior,
we've got news updates as well as interviews with athletes
and other key members of our athletic community.
As a weekly show since 2017, we have covered everything from
championship and virtual races
to fundraising events and FKTs. And now, here are your hosts,
Michael Stefano and Caitlin Ritter.
Standing on the corner, lost all my clothes.
Hey guys, it's Michael Stefano.
And Caitlin Ritter. And Mikey, how was your weekend?
Socially exhausting. Your family came up, which was really nice. We got to see your dad, your mom, and then just before they left, your brother and your brother's girlfriend came up, which was nice.
Yep.
And then just after, or as they were leaving, we had...
Lambo.
Yes, and Lambo, of course. As they were leaving, we went to see my family because one of my relatives from Idaho was coming up, and she...
Surprise!
Yeah, surprise. She brought Cheryl Goodwin.
Yeah.
Proud supporter of the Patreon, so it was great to catch up with her for a little bit. Unfortunately, we were exhausted, but we got to talk about some of her races, and she's going to be doing the Marine Corps Marathon.
Yes.
So best of luck with her. She's crushing it.
And for those who are invested in dogs, our dogs and my family dogs, Lucy and Lambo met.
Yeah, which was very cool. We'll probably put a video up on the podcast story too.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
And then after that, then we went to see my grandfather and my grandmother. My grandfather had hip surgery.
Yes, we saw...
Also Patreon supporters.
All of our family.
Yeah. Wild.
All of our immediate family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then some. And my aunt and uncle were at my house too. It was a whole day. So exhausting. Okay, let's give a shout out to our sponsors.
Use code ADVENTURE for 15% off your next Mudgear purchase. And use code OCRReport20 for 20% off your next Caterpie purchase. You can use that same code OCRReport20 for 20% off your next Spartan, Deca, or Tough Mudder.
Perfect. It is not the first episode of the month, so we're going to thank the $5+ Patreon supporters.
Jason Dupree, Samantha Thompson, Bradley Keel, Charlotte Engelman, Aaron Grindstaff, Laura and Stephen Ritter, Hank and Arlene Stefano, Cheryl Miller.
All of those who we just saw today.
Yes.
Wild.
Jessica Johnson, Christopher Hoover, Kevin Gregory Jr., Evan Irick, Brent George, Logan Nagel, Seth Renderknech, Steve Bacon, Robert Landman, and Jules Esty.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for the support. And to the OCR Report for being a great home for us on the internet.
And to Will Hicks.
The Podfather, check it out over at theocrreport.com. Jason covered a Canadian Series event. That guy does not get enough credit for carrying North American events on his back. Or I guess the live streams of the events.
Is he just exhausted all the time?
Yeah. I think he said this last year too, but he said he's going to be taking like a step back from last year, which means less live streams for you guys, but he hasn't been getting...
if he actually does that.
He also hasn't been getting a lot of support with like the rabbits and stuff too. But the guest, sneak peek, was a rabbit and she was super helpful, but we need more people like that in order to make it less exhausting for him.
Mm-hmm.
And a shout out to our sponsored athletes.
Javier Escobar, Kelly Sullivan, Ryan Brizolara, Joshua Reed, and Kevin Gregory Jr.
Perfect. I don't believe we did a poll, but Caitlin had a meme from last week. She found it, which means I have to describe it. Oh, I think I saw this. So this is by Craft Singles, and on the left it shows incorrect dips, which is someone doing like a tricep dip on parallel bars. And then next to that says correct dip, and it's a grilled cheese and tomato soup. Which, hot take, I really, really don't like tomatoes, so I don't know if I would enjoy that.
You know what I love to dip grilled cheese in?
Oh, hold on.
Hot take.
Chef Boyardee?
No, I'm not a Chef Boyardee kid.
Oh, SpaghettiOs.
Yes.
Okay, all the same trash.
No, it's not.
All the same trash. Being brought up in like Italian family, canned pasta, all the same trash.
It's so good.
Mm-mm. Maybe that'll
Some
be the poll.
days when I'm having like a sad day at work, I'll be like, you know what I could really go for right now?
More punishment. Let's punish my stomach in addition to everything else.
SpaghettiOs with grilled cheese and goldfish crackers.
Okay, goldfish sounds good.
I'm sorry you had a sad childhood.
I mean, I did, but that has nothing to do with it. Thanks for bringing it up. Let's give a shout out. No, we're done with the shout outs. Start getting into quick news. Starting with a news story that we saw just as we were posting last week's episode.
Taking a pause, OCR Buddy Community Choice Awards. We started the awards to celebrate the community, to shine a light on people who make OCR what it is, gritty, generous, and full of heart. But somewhere along the way, the spirit got lost. It started feeling too serious, too heavy, and for a small team already stretched thin, it became more than we could handle.
Valid.
So this year, there are no OCR Buddy Community Choice Awards.
Which is fair. And I've been a little critical of those in the past because...
A little?
Yeah. Turns out the community, I guess for the most part, or the people voting, don't really have a good pulse, finger on the pulse of OCR. So some of the winners were just wild there. But I do think there's a need for the community awards too, and then like an actual awards, like people that, know what they're talking about. But yeah.
Next up, we are going to talk about the Spartan 300 Collective.
AKA some of the laziest and ugliest AI-generated garbage out there. But I also want to say, like, kudos to the people that are on the list. Like, there's some awesome people there. Some people that I'm not recognizing. They must have added some people. But this AI garbage stuff has to stop.
We're assuming it's AI.
That's Lindsay Webster?
Yeah.
You kidding me?
You know who's the worst one?
Chris Rogowski is pretty bad in here.
Like, what?
Yeah,
She's never made a mean face in her whole life.
No.
Also, Kevin Gregory, you know who he looks like?
That's everyone's been saying, a coal miner. Who?
He looks like the guy on the election posters outside.
Yes, and then there's someone here that looks exactly like The Undertaker. I forget who it is. Sorry, I know you in person, but I can't.
Ryan Atkins looks like he just cut grass for 5 years.
You have so many great pictures of these athletes doing amazing things. Why are you using AI?
Actually, that's a bad one too.
Yeah, Faye doesn't look great in here.
They all just, you know what they did? They probably took these like really nice photos of people, put them into AI and said like, make them look aggressive.
Yeah, make them look gritty and raw and this and that. So not here for that, but like what it's all about.
Like, I hope Connie Belt is actually an elderly woman.
Yes.
No, it's so bad.
And not for nothing too, but like some people have like eating disorders and it's made them like look extra skinny and like, what are you doing? I'm sick of it. AI is going to be the death of me, I'm telling you. Next up, this was via email, so we don't have any links for it, and we meant to reach out to Spartan people, but we haven't had any help from anybody who would typically be helping us with this. But this might potentially be the final Fenway Spartan race.
Yeah, I got an email that says, from Spartan, Spartan takes Fenway one last time. You win?
So, could be someone being an idiot and just putting that in there, not realizing... I don't know. It could be like false information on their part. It could be them trying to generate more excitement for it. It could be a whole number of things. But if it is the last one, get your butt there because it's.
But then it says
top
last
5.
Chance to run Fenway. Does that mean like for this year or forever?
Well, that's what I thought with that. And then up above when it says Spartan takes Fenway one last time, that sounds very specific.
One more time.
Yeah. And the only reason I've missed Fenway in the past has been World Surface Butter Weekend, and it's not the case anymore. So. We plan to be there.
Yeah, we do.
Next up, news story with Richard Hynek.
Richard Hynek posted a train with a world champion in Dubai. For the first time ever, I'll be hosting an exclusive Spartan OCR and High Rocks training in Dubai. Join my exclusive workshops, group classes, or book one-on-one personal coaching designed to help you build real race day strength, master obstacles, and learn proven strategies used at the highest level of Spartan or High Rocks.
Yeah, so this will be on October 22nd at the OCR Empire Gym in Dubai. And I don't know how much it costs or anything related to that, but spots are limited. And I mean, he's an awesome athlete. I would definitely be interested to go there if I was an elite.
And in the happiest of happy news...
Yeah.
Chris Rogowski posted...
Yeah, this is the time to get it right.
Chris Rogowski.
Rogowski. Yeah.
Posted, my favorite person, newest favorite view yet, and the easiest yes ever. Austin, you make me the happiest girl in the entire world. Here's to forever.
So congratulations to her and Austin Azar. Also great pictures.
You know what? I believe it. She probably is one of the happiest people.
Yeah. And Austin has always been...
That's what I mean.
Again, we only know these people on the surface level, but they've always been very, very nice.
This girl
so I'm happy
took off my post-WTM shoes and socks.
Yeah. Also, fun fact, she's in the background for our engagement picture.
Oh.
Maybe if you look really closely in the mountains, we're in the background of ours. Just kidding.
Did they get engaged in Denver?
This is Canada.
Oh.
That would be wild.
Also, the ring is gorgeous. It's like very unique looking, but it's very pretty.
Nice. But more than the ring, congratulations on furthering your relationship.
Yeah, we love being married.
Yeah,
It's the best thing ever.
Next up, Obstacle Wonderland released their new event that's going to be in April.
Obstacle Wonderland posted, this April, the obstacles take center stage. Tougher, more creative, more competitive. No shortcuts, no excuses, just you versus the challenge. But someone will be crowned King of the Obstacles. Don't miss this one out. Rise of the Obstacles, April 12th, 2026. A new chapter begins.
Yeah, so it sounds like their Halloween event went really well, Halloween. And I'm happy to hear that it looks like the trend is continuing. And yeah, they'll be having their April event as well.
We love that.
Next out, a shout out to Underdog Fitness.
They're hosting a new event, Halloween-themed Deca Strong fundraiser, October 25th at 12 p.m.
Yeah, so it's going to be the same day that I'm throwing my Halloween party this year. So if it was a little bit earlier, I would love to like go there, do the event.
No, we cannot do both.
I know we cannot, but I would have loved to. So
Underdog Fitness posted, it's Deca Spooky Season. Join us October 25th for our next Deca Strong event in partnership with Operation Impact's Holiday Initiative to support shelters and organizations that help families, women, and children in need.
Yeah. You know who I should fill in about this event, right?
Who?
Phil.
I love a good Phil joke. If your name was Phil, I would do it all the time. Unfortunately, your name's Mike.
Yeah.
Who talks into a mic.
There's also that as well. Anyway, links to all these down below, as well as this news story, which I thought to be interesting. It's a little political. If you're going to get mad, just be mad by yourself, I guess.
I know nothing about this if you want to talk about it.
Yeah. So Chicago cyclists are buying out tamale carts to keep vendors home and safe from ice. So Cycling X Solidarity's latest mutual aid effort takes cyclists on group rides through Pilsen and other neighborhoods to buy out tamale vendors so they can stay home as ICE agents swarm the city. They pass out to food to people in need, this and
love that.
And regardless of what you think about people being here illegally, this and that, I don't like to see the way that things are done here. Mass deportations are never good historically. And I'd like to, see things done the right way. And then the thing that kept popping up for you. Now we
I
can
kept
finally
getting
talk
distracted by it.
Yeah, I saw it right before we sat down to record. But Jason Dupree.
He posted, "You're never guaranteed tomorrow. We've heard that too many times lately. But if you forgot it, here's another reminder. Today could have been my last day. A tree fell on my car as oh my gosh, I didn't realize he was driving at the time. A tree fell on my car as I was driving to the airport from Blue Mountain. Fell perfectly on the windshield. I'm extremely thankful to
hold
say."
it. I wonder if he was recording the episode while this happened too. That's going to be wild to listen to.
That will be.
Yeah.
Fell perfectly on the windshield. I'm extremely thankful to say I got out of the car with no injuries and no one else in the car was with me. 1 second after I saw it start to fall, it was already on the windshield. No time to react until after it crushed the windshield. Then he said, "Don't forget to hug your loved ones. Take that moment to let them know that they are loved and cared about. Be kind to those who you come in contact with. You might not have another chance to pass this moment."
Also, shout out to Paul, a man named Paul who helped him. But yeah, that car got wrecked.
That's crazy. That's so scary. Like, if he was like a millisecond...
I can't help but laugh because look at the first picture. It looks like
it doesn't look that bad.
It looks like it's a tiny branch.
It looks like it got stuck in the license plate.
Yeah. It looks like one of those things of like, oh, hurricane, Zelda hit whatever, and it's just like one like chair being blown over.
Crazy.
But yeah, no, that's legit. You can die at any time, so be a good person. Next up, Spartan, New Jersey sprint podiums. The OCR report hasn't been doing podiums for a while, so check ORM.
Tri-state sprints.
Which, wild, I didn't even know that was this weekend.
For the men, in third place, Tyler McCready. In second place, Adam Beach. And in first place, Brent Trail. And for the ladies, in third place, Jessica Carson. In second place, Lauren Longfield. And in first place, Cassandra Gill.
Nice.
Hey, look, somebody's wearing an Obstacle Wonderland shirt.
Oh, that must be... Hold on.
We love that.
Scroll down to the names. Jessica Carson.
Oh.
Because I'm not as familiar with her.
That's fun.
Yeah, represent. So you're going to like this 5 down below, but let's finally get to what this episode is all about. So Libbie Joyce has been in the sport of obstacle course racing for a long time and has been seen as a great hope of the future of the sport. No pressure. But we had the chance to briefly meet her at World's Toughest Mudder, where she helped rabbit the event, helping the OCR report. We explained to her that we've been wanting to have her on the show for a while, and we're looking for a time in the future to set it up. Well, that time ended up being this weekend. So you'll hear us discuss her background in the sport, her show, Pint Size OCR, on the UK OCR podcast feed, the changes recently made with Spartan no longer allowing young athletes to compete in the competitive waves due to insurance changes, many championship events that she's participated in this year, such as like Spartan championships in Havar, FISO OCR championships, and a pretty big plan to take on for next year, and much more. So let's get to the interview with Libbie. We'll get started with your name and where you're from.
Hi, my name is Libbie Joyce. I'm from the UK. I'm based in Lichfield, so like East Midlands.
Perfect. And starting off with a hard-hitting question here, is it true that there is a chicken named after you?
Yes, there is.
There has to be a story there.
So it all started kind of with, so Finn, who I do the podcast with, he had a chicken named after him first. And he said it on the podcast. I was like, oh no, I want a chicken named after me now. And bless, the family had just had some new chickens come in, so they named one after me. But yeah, so it's kind of like a Finn and Libbie chicken, and they kind of, I think Alan's done like a picture with the 2 chickens sat in chairs like a podcast, and it's so funny, but it's so sweet to have them name one after me.
Love it. Awesome. So tell me a little bit about your background in the sport of OCR, in case there's a lot of like Americans that aren't aware of how long you've been competing. So how did you find OCR? Tell us your background.
So I found OCR like 9-10 years ago. It all started kind of from my mum racing. So she became friends with someone who did OCR. They showed her OCR, and then we kind of just started going to different races near us, and I kind of just got involved, and then I started doing Spartan kids races, and there was only like 2 females that did the competitive. Well, Fun Wave was quite a few of us, and then when I moved up to competitive, there was only 2 females. Kind of just grew more and more doing it and falling in love with it a lot more, and then doing different races as well.
Yeah, that's great. And talk a little bit about obviously as a kid, you're very reliant on your parents for traveling, the cost for the races. So how supportive is your family with all of this?
Oh, they're so supportive. I couldn't do the sport without them, especially my mom as well. She traveled everywhere with me and took me to all of these races. But no, they're all so supportive of me, and I'm glad that I have them.
Yeah, I love to hear that. And so being in the sport 9 to 10 years, you've almost been in the sport as long as I have. What keeps you, what do you love so much about it? What keeps you involved with it?
I think the community is like a big thing for me, being around everyone. And I think for me, yeah, that's probably like the main thing. And then just having love for it, and not just doing the competitive races as well, doing the fun races and going out with everyone. But yeah, I just love being in the event villages, doing the courses and coming around, hanging out with everyone afterwards.
Yeah, love it. And so there's a lot of people that participate in OCR, a decent amount of people that compete in like age group and elite OCR, not many people that podcast about OCR. So you're the co-host of one of the shows in like the UK OCR podcast network, Pint Size OCR. So I listened to my first episode of it. How do you enjoy podcasting?
Oh, I love it. It's so much fun. And I think having Finn doing it with me as well, I think makes it a lot easier. And I've known Finn since I've started OCR.
Okay.
So we've kind of grown up doing the sport together and doing it from juniors. But I enjoy it so much. It's so much fun to do it with Finn, and just to have everyone else listen to it.
Yeah, it's great. So I wanted to talk about some of the big races that you participated in earlier this year. But first, I wanted to talk about some of the Spartan youth changes, which I know you recently had a podcast in, and we'll link that down below, that you did with Finn. But But can you talk about like what the changes are that Spartan made with competitive waves?
Yeah, so they've done it all it's all based off insurance and making sure that the youths are not kind of like jumping straight up into the adults. So they changed the age categories. So for competitive waves, so if you're 14, you can still do a sprint and super open, but you can't do competitive until you get to 16. And then a beast is now you have to be 18, but you can do an open at 16.
Gotcha. And it's actually complicated too because a lot of people are shouting like, why is this a change mid-season? It looks really bad. And while both of those things are true, insurance doesn't run for like the full calendar year. So I know that there were some instances of some younger athletes that were competing in the Trifecta World Championships that like were ready to run the beast and they were just turned away, which I'm sure was really difficult for them.
Yeah, I definitely think the timing is not the best.
Right. So what's been like the overall like feeling of the youthful side of the sport over there? Is there a lot of people that are really annoyed by this? Are people starting to understand, or what's the overall sentiment?
I think there was a lot that have been annoyed, mainly because we had Havar that's just gone, and we also had a UK race where some of the juniors weren't able to race and wanted to race. So most people are quite annoyed by it, but they are understanding of why it's happened. But it's still a bit frustrating because there's a couple of juniors that were able to move up to next season and do them races, but are not able to do the competitive side of it now. I think that's kind of upset them little bit and made the parents a little bit like, come on, why has this happened?
Right. And I listened to Giles talking about it too. And it's basically that the insurance companies are seeing that a lot of kids are just going all out and they're overtraining and they're this and that and they're hurting themselves down the line. And while that data is not specifically OCR related, there's not a lot of data for OCR athletes. And what data there is by like individual races, which obviously have a bias. So I get the difficulty there. It also, I think, might have some influence on you call it BOSS, right? British Obstacle Sports.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's uncertainty for like 2026 season. So how does the qualification work for all of that for kids?
Oh, I'm not 100% sure on that one, to be fair. They've obviously have their side of it, and they're working behind the scenes as much as they can to help juniors, but I'm not 100% sure on qualification side of it.
Totally fair. Totally fair. Something that I was glad that they brought up too is that there shouldn't be like additional changes. Like this should be like the last big change, hopefully, and that there shouldn't be like additional ones moving forward. And then Spartan has also voiced support for understanding that there's a large gap between the kids race and like the adults race too, where like you're in like an in-between. A lot of people are in an in-between age where like they can't really do either, and that's got to be pretty frustrating as well.
Yeah, I think it definitely going to be frustrating, but it does mean the juniors do have that time to kind of train a little bit more, especially if you look at the male side of it. The kids' weights they have are not very heavy whatsoever, and then they move up to adults, and some of them are lifting more. They're going to have to lift more than their body weight. So I think they'll have that time to train. It's just hoping that they keep the love of the sport and don't feel like there's no point me doing it anymore.
Right. And they can still participate in open waves, just to reiterate, they can still compete in open waves, but like not the competitive ones, which is it's difficult too, because we want, as you said, to keep them in the sport and keep there being a new wave of athletes coming in. And with the weighted obstacles, a lot of people think of the Hercules hoist, which is obviously really heavy. But in Europe, I feel like you guys use like the chain carry a lot more often, where you only just recently got that in the States, but that seems heavy.
Yeah, do like the chain carry because we normally do it as either a penalty obstacle or its own kind of carry. But you normally see the chain carry beast side of the beast race and the super and sprint. But we're starting to do where they do like a bucket carry into the hoist or into a rope climb, and they're kind of adding the weights together and doing them straight after each other. So it can be sometimes you're having the weight on you for quite a long time.
Yeah, that's rough. I know for the Trifecta World Championships, they had the chain carry, and I think simultaneously they had the sandbag carry too, which is like that would absolutely crush a lot of regular athletes, never mind kid athletes too. So
yeah.
I get the change, and that's got to be really tricky. So one of the events that I wanted to hear more about much more recently, how is the Spartan Sprint World Championship in Havar? It looks beautiful. That's a bucket list trip for us in the future.
It is probably one of my favorite Spartans. I think for me, it's a very kind of me kind of course because I did swimming before I did OCR. So having all of them swims plays a big favor for me. And this year they had the sandbag carry, and it was such a long sandbag carry. And I love my carries. I think for me, carries is one of my stronger sides. So I think that definitely helped me catch up to some of them from the running. But it is one of my favorite courses, and I would do it every time it's there if I could.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems amazing. We can't really talk about like swims and all that stuff without bringing up the whole like safety aspect of it. Obviously, you're a good swimmer with that background. Did it seem safe? Did they have like a lot of volunteers and everything there too?
Oh yeah, it was so safe. They had life vests at the start of the swims if someone wanted to use them. They had a marshal at the start and at the finish of each swim. It was so safe. And I think the amount of marshals they had as well was so good. And the marshals were really on top of everything.
Oh, good. Awesome. So I don't think you participated in it, but did you stay to watch like the 100-meter championships too? That looked pretty exciting.
Yeah, I did. I think that kind of made the whole event side of it so good because you had everyone gathered around. And this year, the competition that there was amazing. They were all so close. And it's definitely one of my favorite things to watch. I wouldn't run it myself. I'm not a 100-meter person, but it is definitely one that I love to watch.
Yeah. Speaking to yourself, like what is your favorite distance? Like what is your ideal race distance?
So I normally say this year for me, my main kind of distance has been the super. I have been doing better in the super, but I prefer anything kind of 5K and above.
Gotcha. Yeah, it would make me nervous. Again, I'm not an athlete, but when you have like the super short races, you can't afford for like a single thing to go wrong, and that would definitely make my anxiety go crazy.
Yeah.
So speaking to the community aspect of it, it's one thing for yourself to compete, but how enjoyable is it to watch like your peers compete as well for these events?
Oh, I love watching everyone else compete and just cheering them on and seeing how well they do as well. I think for me, having them people around me cheering me on is so much fun. Well, I enjoy having them there and it makes me work more. So I feel like if they're there cheering me on, I feel like I have to cheer them on as well. And it's just so much fun to go around and watch them and watch certain people on obstacles and see how they do it as well compared to how I do it and if they do it quicker. But yeah, I love watching people race and I love being around them and seeing how they enjoyed the course.
Yeah. And then I also saw that you received some exciting news regarding Team UK in 2026 in Havar.
Yes.
Yeah. So you are now the team captain, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So how was that? How was that like announced to you and what were your feelings on it?
It was kind of one of them ones where it's like it came out of nowhere because obviously I was national leader in Finland as well. And then being told that Libbie, you're team captain for Havar as well, I was like, okay, yeah. Like I was speechless. I was like, it's one of them things where you watch people go on and wave the flag around. And last year I watched them go on and I was like, that'd be so cool to do. And doing it this year, it's definitely one of the highlights of the weekend. And being on the stage and looking at all of the different countries were there, it was so cool. And I'm so happy that I got to do it.
Yeah, what an honor. What kind of like responsibilities came with that for the weekend?
It was kind of making sure doing the flag, walking around with the flag, making sure that everyone was kind of what I watched everyone making sure that they were all okay, watching 100 meters, and then also getting everyone there for walking around with the flag. But yeah, it was something that I'm so happy I got to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Going back a little bit further this year in June, we finally had the chance to meet in person very briefly at World Toughest Mudder, where you helped us, the OCR Report, Rabbit, and cover the event. How did you enjoy World Toughest Mudder from your perspective as a rabbit?
Oh, I loved it. It was so much fun. being able to come and do the overnight, because obviously, sadly, I was at work. Not sadly because I love my job, but I was at work beforehand and then after I finished. But coming through the night and running around and being around everyone, it was so much fun, and it's definitely one that I'm keeping memories of for God knows how long, because it was just such a great night.
I'm really glad that you had a great time because World's Toughest Mudder is my favorite event of the year. I've missed it once since 2017, and I was very excited that it went to UK. I know a lot of Americans were kind of annoyed, but it's always been in the United States, so I think it's about time. I'm assuming that was that the first time that you got to experience Worlds?
Oh yeah, first time.
Yeah. So was there anything how did it line up with your expectations, I guess?
Oh, from what I gathered, it was kind of like everyone being around, everyone very kind of doing their kind of thing, but it hit it like way through the roof. It was so much better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. And have you rabbited races before?
Oh, I think I've done one before.
Okay. It's a great way.
I think I've done one before.
Okay, it's a great way to pay it forward. And I know Jason's always looking for rabbits, and I know some people are intimidated, but how did you enjoy the process of like rabbiting an event?
Oh, I loved it. It was so much fun. Being around all of like everyone else who was rabbiting. Jackie was taking the pictures, and just everyone. It was so much fun.
Yeah, good. I'm glad to hear it. I had to be there in like a different capacity this year. Usually I will help out as a rabbit or I'll be doing interviews, but my wife was also running it for the first time, so I had to focus on that as well. But and then you said it earlier, but you had to leave. So you got there a little bit late and you had to leave early, both for work. How was working after rabbiting through the night? Because it was overnight that you were helping out.
It weren't too bad. It was very quiet because I work at one of the gyms near me, and it was quite quiet that day, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah.
Yeah, I respect the hell out of that because I don't think I'd be able to do that. And then going to the FISO OCR World Championships, I know that was another big event that you participated in. You made the decision to compete in elite instead of age group. What went into that decision?
A lot of conversation between myself, Graham, who's my mind coach, and then Brian, who's my running coach. A lot of kind of weighing everything out of the pros and cons of doing it and what I felt best doing and which one would not put me like too much pressure on me and which I felt better kind of doing. And it did take a little bit, but we came to the conclusion that for me, going elite would be better.
Yeah, I know that's a decision that a lot of people are struggling to make, especially since, for a year we had that competitive wave where it was like elite and then whoever didn't get top 3 was just competitive. How did you like that format when they had it that way?
I don't actually think I kind of hit that format. I think I was kind of in kind of age group and then kind of moved up as it kind of weighed out a little bit more.
Gotcha, that makes sense. Spoiler, you said your races didn't go exactly as you wanted, but talk a little bit about how the races went for you.
So the 3K for me wasn't a very good race. It was kind of one of them ones where I hadn't done anything that technical at all this year. And so it was kind of one of them ones where it didn't go as how I planned it to go and how I wanted it to go. I'm still happy with how I did and how long I kept my bands for, but it definitely wasn't the race I was hoping for. Whereas the 15K race went so much better, and I kind of had it in my mind that I knew the 12K, sorry, the standard course race would go better for me because that's more my distance than the 3K, and I've always done better and not been so fatigued and pumped on the longer races than the shorter ones. It's a bit of a weird one, but it's just kind of how it's kind of worked for me.
Yeah. I talked to a decent number of athletes that competed in the 3K, and it sounds like a lot of them felt like they went out too hot and burned out during the 3K, which again is those short spicy races are extra intimidating. Is that what happened to you too?
Yeah, I definitely would say probably that's kind of what happened because I felt the pump quite early on in the obstacles, whereas when it came to the standard course, where I got to and had that pump at the start of the race, I didn't have it on the standard course. So I definitely think I probably went a little bit too hard out on the 3K.
Gotcha. What were some obstacles that stood out to you on the course? Because I know you guys have some fun obstacles over there.
Yeah, I think for me, most of them did stand out because it was one of the ones where I have seen some obstacles like that, but I haven't done a FISO or a Euros at all that year or the year before. So there was definitely some new ones that people have seen before, like the floating boards where you have to jump yourself across. That for me was kind of sitting in the back of my mind the whole of the standard course race until I got there, and I was like, okay, not going to panic. I'm just going to go for it. And luckily it did out quite nicely and I did complete it. But I think for me, there was quite a lot of them that did stand out.
Yeah, good. I also heard that it was one of the rare races where athletes were able to practice on the obstacles beforehand. But what are your feelings on that being allowed?
I think for some people it definitely helped them. I think for me, I didn't done anything properly because I'm one of them ones where if I fail it in practice, it gets in my head too much. And then I start to be like, I'm on course and I'm like, oh, I didn't complete it. I'm not going to complete it. I think I could have practiced maybe on a couple of them a little bit more than I didn't. But as a whole, I think for me, I'm quite happy that I didn't because I knew that looking at them, and I went through this beforehand, and I always tell myself, if I can see myself doing it, then I'll be fine. If I don't see myself doing it, then I'll have a practice on it. If obviously we're allowed, and we were allowed at that one. But yeah, I think for me, practicing on some obstacles is not for me.
Fair. I love it as an option, just because like athletes like yourself or a lot of Americans that they show up to this race and they've never seen the obstacle, and whether or not they engage in it, they can see how other people are doing it as well. But you're absolutely right. Like the mental side of the sport, which is a mental side to all sports, but that's got to be like it's a really important thing to manage as an athlete, right?
Yeah. I think for me this year, my mental side has improved so much better. Like from the years when I was younger, I think for me, my mental side, it was all right. It just isn't where it is now. And I'm so thankful for Graham, who's helped me with that.
Is it Graham Roberts? Is it from Knox?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. I had the chance to meet him at Adventure's OCRWC a few years ago, and he seemed like a really cool guy. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then that actually segues pretty nicely too. I believe in that post where you were talking about the FISO World Championships, you mentioned how you're being smart about building up in the sport since you are still young. Kudos for your patience, but how difficult is it to like not want to go crazy and like do all the things, but like being slow and controlled build?
Well, last year it was a bit of one of them ones where I was racing probably mostly every weekend. I think last year was the year where I kind of went a bit crazy, and then having Ryan coach me this year and be like, okay, we're not going to do this one because we want to have this kind of training block and we want to do this kind of thing, and then have this race where we want to go properly hard, or this race where it's a race, and having it all planned out, I felt a lot more refreshed when I come to races, and I'm not as tired and as fatigued, and I feel better about myself.
That's good to hear. And also, I think it's important that we should probably mention his last name too, Atkins, Ryan Atkins, but not on a first term basis with them. But that's awesome. When did you start being coached by him and Graham?
I think it was sometime this year. It maybe it started. Oh gosh, yeah, it's been this year. Yeah, this year I've been coached by him.
Nice. And how's that been going?
It's so good. I've seen myself improve so much, and I obviously had Jack Carpenter who coached me before, and I've seen myself improve from having him, and going into now having Ryan coach me, and I've seen myself improve more, and building myself up and seeing how I'm going up throughout the year, it's been so good.
Yeah. So in your like OCR training journey, like what are some like pitfalls or like traps or things that you've learned over the years that you think someone else that may have been in your shoes or someone that's at a young age now listening, like what's some advice that you give to some of them?
I think definitely listen to people around you and get their advice. So I've had, at the start, when I started OCR, I didn't have kind of anyone coaching me and I was doing it by myself and I hated running, didn't want to do it, didn't like it. You probably got me on a run maybe once every 2 weeks. And then going into having a coach and actually having the right amount of training and all of that. And then moving up to having Ryan now and properly looking at what to do to help me get to my goals further on in the line. I definitely think have helped me having that kind of set plan and making sure that I'm doing everything that I need. Make sure I'm having these rests where I'm not just cramming everything in. I definitely think for me, having these rests as well, I think rests are such a big thing. So you're not kind of like knackering yourself out and killing yourself off before you've reached the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be hard getting caught up on it. Like you talked about how last year you raced too often, but it's hard to do what you love less in order to be better at it. But I get it. And then you also have done a really good job with like helping, like reaching back and helping other people. I saw that you helped with you hosted a training at the obstacle gym, I think it was called.
Yes.
How did that go?
It was so good. I love coaching the little kids and kind of seeing how they come into loving the sport and getting new kind of people into sport. So I've done 3 kind of training sessions now, one at the obstacle gym, one at Nuts Training Centre, one of our races, and then one at the obstacle play park with my best friend and then her coach. And getting all of these kind of juniors in to it and looking at their faces light up when they're doing stuff that they've never done before, or they've done the sport and they've not known how to do this. And then we're kind of showing them how you can do it in different ways to do it, and then getting like clicking and doing it and seeing their face light up, I think for me is such like one of my best things in the sport, watching juniors do it, knowing that I've kind of grown up doing that and had them people and being one of them people. It just makes me so happy.
Yeah, I love that. It's one of those things that I see how often you post about it, and it makes me very optimistic for the sport in the UK. I've seen a lot of good updates, at least the ones that I can read in China, with like that their youth sport seems to be doing really well as well. Mm-hmm. In the States, the OCR hasn't been, it's been a little bit more tumultuous, and I'd like to see more of kids turn out here as well. But how are you feeling about like the future of the sport and everything?
From the UK kind of side of it, there's so many juniors now. Like this weekend, as we're filming this, like tomorrow, we've got the kids UK championships, and I haven't seen the start list for it, but from what I've heard, the turnout is going to be so good, and I can't wait to kind of watch all of the juniors run around and get kind of competitive and want that win. And for me, I think the juniors of the sport is the sport. Like, if we don't have any juniors, we're probably not going to have a sport.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because when I first started OCR back in like 2012, and it was very much like social media is what like brought the sport to the limelight. Everyone wanted their picture of the mud and the barbed wire and this and that. But you're absolutely right. Like that will eventually fade. We're getting older, and you guys are rising to the occasion, which is awesome to see. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this the first like European Kids Championship that's being held there too?
What, this weekend coming?
Yeah. Is that
no, so this weekend's just the Kids UK Championships.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So I think it was earlier. There was the Spartan Kids. Was that the first time that they had that?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was confused with.
I was race director for course designer for that, for the first ever Kids European Spartan Championships.
Yeah, and how did that go too?
it was so good. We had such a good turnout. I think we sold out tickets with how many juniors wanted to do it, and seeing all of them and how many were on the start line was crazy, because it wasn't just kind of like UK athletes. There were other athletes from around Europe that did turn up, and it was so good to watch them around and enjoy the course that we'd set up for them, and also getting the feedback off them. For me being the first time doing it, the feedback I got, I was so happy with. And if I ever do it again, I know what I need to improve on if I have to do it again.
Yeah. What went into that role of being the race director?
So it's kind of looking at kind of the land that we had, and the team I worked with was so good. They were so helpful for me being my first time doing it, them talking me through what actually goes into it and how to do it. But then kind of, because obviously for a kids European Spartan champs, I wanted to have them prizes for them. So the kids weren't just getting kind of the delta, they also had them prizes. So I'd reach out to different companies, see what prizes I could get off them, and then sorting out the course, and then making sure that it was a little bit more difficult than you have from a normal kids race in the UK. And luckily, Spartan were so helpful that I managed to get 2 of the adult obstacles on the course for the kids. And I think for them, they were very excited about that, because they've never done them 2 obstacles. So we had Olympus and slackline, and they've never had them obstacles before. So I think for them, having that kind of challenge that they've not done before, they're really excited about.
Yeah. Olympus is like, that's not an easy obstacle.
No, so we had a look at it beforehand, and they obviously had the long one out for the adults, so we were looking at it and seeing how we could shorten it down for them.
That makes sense. What's some other feedback that you got that like you've learned, and if you get the position to do it again, you'd take from it?
I think some of the kids would love to have it longer, but I think for that is one of the ones where it's kind of like, we can only make it a certain distance before it gets too much.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of hit the max as much as we can. But I definitely think some of them would want a more kind of technical race and have a bit more kind of, because obviously we did a 2-lap course. I think some of them probably would want a single lap course, I think some of them said. But as a whole, I think most of them really enjoyed the course.
Yeah, that's exciting. And then, which is completely different. So tell me about the event that's this weekend then.
So this weekend is quite local to me, actually, just on the other side of Birmingham. So we have the adults UK race beforehand, and then after we have the kids championships. And I know Dave Peters is putting a lot of work into it for them, and it's going to be such a good turnout. And I think having that adult race beforehand is going to be so good, because it means the adults can stay and watch these kids run around, do what they love, and see the future in the sport.
Yeah. I love that too, because I find that too often that with a lot of the kids races that we have here, it's kind of like going off to the side, but I want that stuff to be more like front and center. So I get really excited when we go to a venue where the kids course, like you have to walk past the kids course in order to get to the event too. So you have more eyes on it, because I want these kids to get excited. And obviously I want them to do it for their own good too, but I want them to see that like other people care that they're doing this too. And that's what keeps them into it. So no, that's awesome. I think that'd be really exciting. So being in this sport for a long time, who are some elites that have like inspired you over the years?
So I'm going to say Lindsay, Nicole, are definitely the top 2.
That's fair.
Annie as well. I got to meet her at WC when I did the team race with Lindsay and Nicole.
Yep.
Because originally it was supposed to be me and Annie and then one other person, Jaleesa. But Jaleesa was really focused on the 100, which was completely understandable. Like, she had did so well at that. And then Annie obviously kind of brought Nicole into it, and then Annie got hurt a bit, so Nicole brought Lindsay in. And I think for me that was kind of like, oh my God, how has this happened? Like, what's going on here? So I definitely think them three, definitely the three I've looked up to for so long, and then so many UK females as well that I've watched growing up and who I'm racing against now. Yeah, there's so many that I could name.
Yeah. So Annie Doobie and Jaleesa, it's Himka, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember that relay race that you were on too. Do you remember what year that was at OCRWC?
It was the first year at Mammoth.
Okay.
So which year was that? Oh, gosh, I gotta think now.
This year they didn't have one. Last year, the year before. Okay, so around that time then, yeah.
Yeah.
But that must have been pretty awesome, like racing with like super elites as well.
Oh, it was a dream come true, and I think it's probably going to be right now the best day of my life so far.
You have a lot ahead of you, so you should be good with that. What so you said you didn't want to like list too many people, but what are some European, some UK athletes that people should be paying more attention to as well? Because I feel like the US focuses a lot on US and kind of doesn't pay enough attention to the fact that there's a lot of amazing other athletes out there. Who are some other ones that people should keep an eye out for?
Oh goodness, I definitely think if you're looking more at the Spartan side, you've got Andrea. Berkers. I think I'm saying that right. She's definitely one to look out for in Spartan. Kind of, you've got Fede from the UK, Becky from the UK, Josie from the UK. You've got Clara, who won the UK series. I'm trying to think where she's from now. She's Europe. I think for me as well, when I was growing up, I had Ida when she did the sport.
Yep.
She was definitely one. There's so many now that from Europe and there's so many that's coming to my head.
It's a good problem.
So many of us. Yeah. I think there's probably too many to name.
Fair. We don't want to leave anyone out, so that's fair. But how great is it too that like you said you raced with like Lindsay and Nicole, like how great is it that like you can reach out to them and like they'll respond too. Like no one's too egotistical in the sport, which is pretty great, right?
Yeah. I think for me being able to reach out to them, like I was like talking to Nicole the other day about races that were coming up and if she was going or not. And it was kind of just like a normal conversation. And then I'm like thinking back to myself, she's literally one of the top in the world and I'm literally having a normal conversation. What's going on here?
That's something that took me a while to get over, like interviewing all these elites and everything too, because they're like, oh my God, like your coach, like Ryan Atkins, like, are you kidding me? But like, he's just a regular guy, incredibly more talented than I'll ever be, but just a regular guy. Also, we talked about like athletes that are in the UK and Europe that people need to be aware of, but what are some other like events that people may not be aware of? I know you mentioned Nuts, which is like a training facility. They also have their races. What are some other races like in Europe that people should keep an eye out for?
I think for me, I look out for more kind of like the Spartan side of it. I think Europe there's a lot of Spartan races that you can do in Europe. I know that one that everyone loves is probably Hang On race in the Netherlands.
Yes.
That's a big one that everyone goes to. I'm trying to think. I think you can find loads of different I know there's a Spanish series, technical race, because one of my best friend, Emmy, who does OCR, she did the Spanish series this year. And she said how much she loved it. So I think you can find loads of different races that are kind of small, but are also known for Europe.
I think that's a big reason why OCR is still continuing to do so well over there too, is over by us, a lot of the smaller races have gone away. Unfortunately, I've worked for a few of them and they were great, but they just fade away through one reason or another. And Spartan's like the main dominant one, but you guys have so many different flavors of OCR where like, I know Hang On is very like ropes based, very, very technical and say like Spanish series is a bit more like heavy carries. Like you have different flavors of everything, which I'm so incredibly jealous of.
Yeah.
I'll stay here with that. Oh, circling back to OCRWC, what are your thoughts on the name change, the fact that they're in Australia and all that stuff? That was big news for a little bit.
For me, I don't think for me, the name change is probably not like a big thing because it's still I'm hoping it's still gonna be the race it has been, because it's been one of, when I was younger and it was in the UK and my mum did it. It was one of them ones where I'm like, I so want to do this when I'm older. Like, this is like one of the top races that I need to do. So I'm hoping it doesn't change. And I think it's going to be quite cool being in Australia. It's like one of them ones where it's like, okay, this could be different.
Yeah, a lot of people were complaining because they had previously said like, oh, East Coast of United States, and so a lot of people were getting excited for that. And now it's the East Coast of Australia, not close to each other. But I think a lot of people are forgetting that, like, one, Australia is a bucket list place for me to go. I can't wait to go there someday. And two, there's athletes in Australia. There's athletes in like the whole APAC region that are going to be coming out too. And I do hope it keeps its awesome event, because OCRWC, World Toughest Mudder is number one for me, but OCRWC is like a close second, and I hope it maintains its awesomeness too.
Yeah, it's such a good event. The 3 years that I've gone, it's been, 3 years that I've raced, because I went to one in the UK. It's been such a great event.
Yeah, so good. And then so I've only gone to one event. Actually, the Beaver Castle was the first time I'd ever gone to the UK in general. What are some other venues? Because you talked about like loving Spartan. What are some of your favorite Spartan venues in the area?
Ooh. I think we've got Pippinford. I think that's probably one of my favorites. I'd have to say this year they did one in Scotland, and that was such a good event. Like, it was definitely more my kind of course. Like, it had the hills where I was able to run up them really quickly and catch up with everyone. But I think all of the Spartans in the UK, they're different to the other ones. Like, they're not all like very similar. Like, some of them are more hillier than the others. Some are like dead flat. Some of them are more boggy. Like, they're all different around the UK. They're not the same. And I think that's one thing that I do really like about the UK Spartans.
Yeah. And then another question, which may seem a little weird too, but there's going to be a whole bunch of US athletes coming back over for World's Toughest Mudder, myself included, if things go well. What are some like foods, places you'd recommend to like go visit and stuff for going to England? Because we spent like the first like 3 days in London, loved that, and then we went north and enjoyed a little bit stuff there too. But what are some things that you'd recommend?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think now. I don't rarely have it, but I do love a good English breakfast.
Yeah, all right.
That is one of my favorites.
We had some Percy pigs, which were recommended by Fran.
Yes.
Those were delicious. We still have some because
Percy pigs. I'm trying to think. There's nothing coming to my brain.
UK is a great place, we promise.
It is great. Because you can get loads of different kinds. I love like the local bakeries.
Okay.
Kind of like there's one near us where it's like they do like these delicious kind of cakes, and you get like brownies, shortbreads, and they've just moved one closer to us.
Oh boy.
We're kind of like, oh no, because my mum found out probably yesterday that they moved it closer. My mum and my sister already have gone whilst I've been at work.
Love it. And speaking of cakes too, you also have I think they're just called like tea cakes. It's like the graham cracker, the marshmallow. We have something similar called Mallow Mars. Yours are so much better than ours. So much better.
Yeah, I forgot about tea cakes. Tea cakes are definitely a good one to try.
Yeah. I know oh god, who was it? Grant Thompson talks about squashies or whatever.
Squashies.
Yeah, I didn't have the chance to try those.
Sweets,
but that's good.
The sweets. There's so many different flavors now, because normally you just have like the original, which is one side's white, one side's pink. But you can get like sour apple now and strawberries and cream.
I think he brought some out to Colorado for the toughest motor that they had there too. And I think Carlos stole some. I love just trying like different flavors and stuff like that. And you guys have like a lot of fun snacks, and they're really good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, starting to come to a close, any sponsors or people that you'd like to thank?
I think for me, like kind of the main ones is Voom Nutrition. They do all my nutrition. They have been so great with making sure I have the right amount of nutrition. VJ Shoes, making sure I have all of my kind of shoes ready to go.
Real quick on that, what are your favorite pair? Like, what are you running in mostly now?
Sparks.
Okay, those
I
are
love my
beautiful.
Sparks.
Oh my god, it's
My Sparks are my go-to shoe. I think they come to every event with me. Even if it's like one of the ones where it's like flat, they're like, yep, Sparks. I
am so jealous because the orange ones, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So my favorite color, and I saw that they were like, all right, we're clearing out all of our Sparks. They're like 50% off. I'm like, oh, I'm buying a pair. And they already were sold out in my size, so I never got a pair, which is a bummer.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I've heard that they might be ending them. I'm like, no.
Bummer. They look so pretty. I have like one of every other pair. Yeah.
Yeah, my Sparks, or if it's a very muddy kind of race, my IROX.
Yep.
But I have got the flows, the creamy colour flows.
Okay. You like those too?
Yeah, but I refuse to run in them because I don't want to get them dirty. They're too pretty to get dirty.
It's so ridiculous, but yeah, you're not the only one.
Yeah. They're my kind of, if it's not muddy around the event village, they're my shoes to walk around with, or they're my airport shoes.
Walking in style. I like it.
I don't think I've never done a race in them. Too scared to get them absolutely covered.
Fair. And then any other people to thank?
Akuma, who do all of my OCR kind of kit for me, and then also Compress. I think for me also Compress is such a good one. I use their hydration belt to keep all my hydration in, and then I also kind of, for when I do my sky running this brought up this year, I've been wearing their shorts and tops and hydration pack. They are so good to run in.
Nice. I'm also seeing in your bio Kit Bricks. Are they still around? I thought they went away. Okay. Did they go away for a little bit and they came back?
I think they've kind of moved on a little. They do still do OCR. I think they're kind of doing more because I know they've gone in with the UK Deca.
Okay.
Or Deca. So they are definitely a go-to for me because of having obviously traveling so much.
You're right. Yeah.
They are so handy.
Awesome. And then again, your coaches and everything too.
Yes. Knox for me has played a big part in this year. So I'm very, very, very grateful for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I know it's towards the end of the season, but any other events that you have planned for the rest of this year or plans for next year?
So for this year, I think it's probably my final race for this year will be Spartan Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
Because I turned 18 at the start of November. So I'm able to run the beast. So I kind of make the cut-off. And so, yeah, I'm very, very happy to go out to that.
Yeah. How are you feeling about the sand out there?
I think I should be okay. I did the first year that was in Abu Dhabi when it was in the middle of the desert. So I'm kind of hoping it comes back quite naturally.
Gotcha. And then any plans for next year yet?
For next year, I probably will be focusing on Spartan. I'm probably going to do World's Toughest next year.
Okay. Run it, not just rev it.
Yeah. Run it.
Okay.
Because it's been one of the ones where it was my goal to go to it. And now I've been to it, it's kind of like, I want to run it now.
Yeah.
And it being in the UK, I'm like, we're going to do it. So
awesome.
Running World's Toughest.
Beautiful.
And then go on, sorry.
No, that's beautiful. So I went to World's Toughest Mudder in 2017 in Vegas to like pit crew so I could experience that. And I think that's the best way to do it is like you've had the experience of it. And now when you go, you can focus on running it because there's so many great ways to experience World's Toughest Mudder. You can pit crew, you could rabbit, you could do this, you could do that. But I'm very excited for you. It's wonderful and also terrible and then wonderful again. It is such a roller coaster, but that's great. Any plans for like who your pit crew and stuff would be?
Oh, I'm not 100% sure yet.
Fair.
I think I definitely will probably see if Graham can come and help.
Yeah.
But I think it's quite funny. I think my mom I'm gonna put her in the hole here. She's gonna love me for this. Yeah. But I think my mom wants to run it.
Awesome.
So I did say, can we have our tents quite a fair bit away? But yeah, so I think there'll be quite a few people around. Yeah. That I'll see.
Absolutely, and as you know too, like everyone's going to be helping each other too. So it's not yeah. Well, very excited for you. If things go well, we'll be there. We'll be cheering for you as well. But
yes, thank you.
So good. And then anything else for events?
I'm gonna probably carry on with my sky running next year as well. Do a couple of local fell races and see if I can go out to the youth sky running championships again. So that's what I did this year, and it was so much fun and I enjoyed it so much.
When and where is that?
So I'm not too sure where it is next year, but this year it was in Italy.
Oh, beautiful.
But it was such an experience that it was completely different to. There were similar things to OCR, but I think it was completely different in its own way. Like we had race one day, and then we had a day off, and then we raced the next day. Ooh. And I had never done anything kind of like that before. But it was definitely one of them ones where I was like, okay, I understand why they're doing this. But yeah, I definitely would. If I get to do that again next year, I definitely would.
Awesome. And then where can people follow you on social media?
They can follow me on Instagram and Facebook, Libbie Joyce _OCR.
Awesome. Well, Libbie, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show. You've been on my list for like potential episodes for like years, so I'm glad we were finally able to get this happen. And my internet held up. It was great. Yeah, thank you so much, and have a great rest of your weekend.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome back.
Thank you for taking the time to come on the show, Libbie, and looking forward to seeing what other awesome stuff you take on. And hope to be there at Beaver Castle so we can cheer you on. But we're still waiting for someone to sign up for World's Toughest Mudder.
Somebody told me that they had a discount code for me, and I haven't gotten the discount.
Sounds like someone that's trying to like push off the inevitable.
No, I'm not kidding you. Somebody told me they had a discount code. I'm not going to name names, but...
I mean, I don't know any.
Maybe they will give it to me.
Gotcha. So for our related episodes, we brought up, well, again, World's Toughest Mudder. So episode 444, any reason to plug this episode really, because it's by far the best episode that we put out this year. But 444 was World's Toughest Mudder 2025, part 2, event day audio, interviews, and Caitlin's pit audio. I got a lot of love for that one. Just not as many downloads as I would have liked.
People messaged me saying it was a great episode, and I was like, yeah, I haven't listened to it.
Yeah, I know.
I can't do it yet.
And then I also wanted to shout out Pint Size OCR episode 17, which is the episode I referred to with Libbie and her co-host talking about the Spartan insurance changes. There's also another UK OCR episode that had Giles on that was very helpful for me as well.
Subscribe and follow wherever you get your podcasts. We are Obstacle Running Adventures on all the podcast players. And if you like with what you heard, do us a kindness, as Will Hicks will say, and leave us a review. We haven't gotten a review since the famous one.
Infamous one.
Yep.
You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Those are really the only two we use. Shoot us a message, shoot us an email. You can do all those things. You can also support us financially over on patreon.com for as little as $2, as many as $10. You get all sorts of behind-the-scenes perks. But again, please join on the website and not the app, since Apple will charge you additional fees, and that is no fun.
Or you can just vent me directly.
Mm-hmm. Coming up next, who knows? I have many ideas, but we will see. Caitlin, you got a joke or a quote?
I do. My The joke is, where do bees like to vacation?
Honey, bees, buzz. Where?
Singapore.
Ah, that was close. And you quote.
The kindness we extend to others ripples into the universe endlessly.
Nice.
Like that.
Well, that just about wraps it up. My name's Michael Stefano.
And my name is Caitlin Ritter.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
We hope you're feeling motivated, inspired,
And ready to take on your next race or training run.
If you've enjoyed this week's episode, leave us a review
and share it with your fellow adventurous friends.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Obstacle Running Adventures.
Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Join us every week for more news,
Stories and interviews from the community.
Our intro song was Streaker by Straight Up.
And our outro music is Iron Paw by The Best.
We never have internet issues, but we're having internet issues today. Also, why am I slurring? Slurring the word internet. Blah, blah. Peter packed a pick a peck of peppers. All right. Internet's going to hold together. Let's hold together. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. It's my favorite event of the year. I've gone to just about every single one since 2017.
I've lost you.
Jesus. Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you.
Well, one sec. How about now?
Nope. You're not glitching, I just can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Nope.
Okay, one sec. How about now?
Nope.
Yes. Mic test. Can you hear me now?
No.
How about now? Jeez.
No, I can't hear you. There's similar. Oh gosh, there are similar things to